Between it being the most used room in the home and being one of the rooms where there are the most gadgets created for it, the kitchen tends to be the room that gets the most cluttered the fastest. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of kitchen gadgets I really love, but today I'm gonna share with you a list of things that your kitchen really just doesn't need. Okay, the first thing on my list is actually probably the number one thing I regret from putting on my wedding registry, and that is an entire pots and pans set. At the end of the day, maybe it wasn't the worst thing to register for, but now that I've lived on my own for like 17 years or however long it's been, really dating myself here, that most of us don't use every single pot and pan that comes in one of those pots and pans sets. A certain pan that I may use all the time, somebody else may not use ever. I just started buying my pots and pans individually. Next up is those extra pieces. A lot of kitchen gadgets that we buy, maybe the kitchen gadget is something that's worthwhile, but it comes with lots of little accessory pieces, and maybe we're not using those. I don't know what it is about the people who create kitchen appliances, they love to create little extra accessories to go with it, but lots of times you don't end up using them. If it makes you feel better, keep it when you first purchase a product, and if you haven't used that little accessory in like 6 months, maybe just get rid of it. And on that note, also get rid of duplicates. Lots of times we will either buy duplicates of kitchen items, or when we buy it, it literally comes in a set of 2 or 3, and we usually don't need that many of them. Be honest, how many rubber spatulas do you really need? Getting rid of all of the duplicates in your kitchen will make just finding what you need a lot easier and maintaining what you have a lot easier. The next thing that you don't need in your kitchen is all of the 8 million different kinds of knives. This is kind of like the pots and pan thing. We tend to buy a set of them. We all have like the 2 or 3 knives that are our favorite that we use every single time. I know I do. Do you really need 4 different paring knives? Do you need 8 different kind of knives for chopping things? Stick with just your most used, necessary knives. Next up is mismatched Tupperware, or like Tupperware that's missing the lids or the bottoms. I don't really even know how this ends up happening. It's like when a sock loses its match. We're kind of hanging on to it thinking the other sock will find its way back, but it never really does. Consider doing audits of your Tupperware every once in a while and getting rid of anything that's missing a top or a bottom. Okay, next up, too many coffee mugs. Why do we, as a human race, think that we need an entire shelf of coffee mugs? Because if you walk into, I feel like the average kitchen in most people's homes, they're gonna have at least a shelf of coffee. Like they are running a full-on coffee shop. We have 2 adults in our home who drink coffee, and yet we probably have at least 10 mugs. Even if we had guests coming over, we don't need that many mugs. Even if we're each having 3 cups of coffee a day and not washing our mug out in between, we're getting a fresh mug every time, we still don't need that many mugs. All I'm saying is you probably don't need a whole shelf of coffee mugs. And I'm speaking to myself here too, because I got a whole shelf. And on that topic, you probably don't need every kind of specialty glassware. Very easy to fall into this trap where we need red wine glasses and white wine glasses. We need highballs and lowballs. We need champagne glasses. Why? When was the last time I poured champagne in my house? Maybe once a year. Like, you could get 1 set of red wine glasses, and you wanna know what? You can pour white wine into a red wine glass. The truth is, most beverages taste exactly the same, no matter what glass you're pouring them out of. Next on my list is unused cookbooks. Now, I actually am somebody who uses cookbooks. I know there are some people who be like, you don't need cookbooks, recipes are online. I agree, recipes are online. I don't know, I buy cookbooks, I do actually use them, but you may have bought a cookbook and then it just didn't end up being your favorite and you don't really use it that much. Let yourself let go of it. Donate it to the Goodwill, pass it on to a friend, whatever. Last but not least is party paper supplies. You may end up with like extra cups from a birthday party that you hosted. I do like to keep 1 package of paper napkins around for if I am ever hosting, but in general, I really actually don't even end up using them. Most of the time I pull out our cloth napkins, or if it's just like a bunch of kids running around, I'm like, here's some paper towels, have at it. Unless you truly are the hostess with the mostest, go ahead and let go of some of those like leftover party supplies in mismatched themes and like seasonal genres. On the topic of hosting, something else your kitchen probably doesn't need is servingware that you're only using for special occasions. I'm not saying get rid of this. I have specialty servingware that I use when I host birthdays, when I have Christmas, but it doesn't make sense to store this in your kitchen, in the prime real estate of your kitchen, when you're only taking it out 1 or 2 times a year. See if you can find somewhere else to store them besides right in the prime real estate of your kitchen. All right, my friends, that does it. Some things that I think that your kitchen probably just doesn't need to help you free up a little bit of space in one of the most cluttered spaces in our home, the kitchen. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you want some more tips on simplifying your kitchen, I will link my Simplify Your Kitchen video down below. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.